A meeting of minds, when technology meets compassion. It was July 2015, a day that, for many, brought together two seemingly disparate worlds. On one side, Mark Zuckerberg, a symbol of the modern technological revolution, the visionary who created Facebook, a platform that has fundamentally changed the way we communicate and share our lives. On the other, the Dalai Lama, a beacon of spiritual insight, a man whose life has been dedicated to fostering compassion, wisdom, and understanding among all people. This meeting wasn't just about technology or spirituality, it was about the possibilities that arise when two different ways of viewing the world come together, searching for common ground. It wasn't about technology for technology's sake, nor was it about meditation in isolation. It was about using all the tools at our disposal to make the world a better place for everyone. Picture it. Zuckerberg, a young tech entrepreneur accustomed to speaking in terms of metrics, data, and scalability, sitting across from the Dalai Lama, who speaks the language of humanity, kindness, and interconnectedness. The two shared not just a stage but a deep conversation that was streamed live to millions, touching on the role of technology in fostering human connection and compassion. And it raises a fundamental question. What happens when we blend the power of social media with the timeless teachings of compassion and empathy? Can the marriage of technology and spirituality truly uplift humanity? Together, we can use technology to unite hearts across the globe. Subscribe channel now and help spread the message of compassion, the role of technology in connecting humanity. In their discussion, Zuckerberg emphasized how social media has the power to connect people across vast distances. He spoke about the idea of making the world more open and connected, a core vision behind the creation of Facebook. For many of us, Facebook has become a tool for reconnecting with old friends, staying in touch with family members living far away, and even meeting new people with similar interests. It's a digital bridge that spans continents and cultures. But here's the question, is connection alone enough? The Dalai Lama, ever gentle yet incisive, reminded Zuckerberg that technology is only as good as the intentions of those using it. Connection must be coupled with compassion. Merely bringing people into the same digital space doesn't automatically foster understanding or empathy. In fact, in the absence of compassion, digital platforms can amplify misunderstandings, spread misinformation, and deepen divides. The challenge, therefore, isn't just to connect people but to connect their hearts. Zuckerberg listened intently as the Dalai Lama spoke about the importance of empathy in all human interactions, whether physical or digital. Imagine for a moment a world where every message, every post, every comment was driven by the intention to uplift another person, to offer kindness, or to build someone up rather than tear them down. Imagine how different our social media experiences would be if we took the time to consider how our words might impact others. Technology, in this sense, is a tool, but we decide whether that tool is used for building bridges or for erecting barriers. Compassion in a digital age, in a world that moves as quickly as ours, where news travels around the globe in seconds and reactions are instantaneous, compassion can often feel like a forgotten virtue. The Dalai Lama's message was clear: without compassion, all the advancements we make in technology risk being hollow. But what does it mean to bring compassion into the digital age? Compassion isn't passive. It's an active effort to understand another's perspective, to feel their pain or joy, and to act in ways that alleviate suffering. Zuckerberg seemed genuinely touched by this perspective and agreed that technology should not only facilitate communication but also encourage people to understand each other's stories more deeply. He spoke about his vision for Facebook as a platform that could do more than just connect people. It could help them care about each other. Consider the simple act of liking a post. It's an easy gesture, a click that takes less than a second. But what if we moved beyond the quick, superficial interactions and instead used these platforms to truly engage with one another's experiences? What if we paused to write a comment that expressed genuine interest or support? In our rush to consume content, we often forget that behind each post is a human being, someone with feelings, hopes, fears, and dreams. How often do we take the time to see beyond the screen, the Dalai Lama's teachings emphasize that compassion is the foundation of human happiness. If technology can help us better understand each other, if it can help us to see the shared humanity in each post, each picture, each story, then it can be a force for profound good. The Dalai Lama's words were a gentle yet profound challenge to Zuckerberg: use this incredible power not just to connect, but to foster genuine understanding and compassion among billions of people. Ethical responsibilities and the dark side of technology. One of the most important topics discussed in the conversation was the ethical responsibilities of tech companies. Zuckerberg was candid about the challenges. He acknowledged that while platforms like Facebook had revolutionized communication, they also had a darker side: the spread of misinformation, the rise of online harassment, and the mental health issues that can stem from overuse or negative interactions. It's easy to see technology as inherently neutral, but the way we use it and the systems we build can have very real consequences for people's lives. The Dalai Lama's response was simple yet profound: technology must be guided by moral principles. He stressed that technological advancements need to be wielded with responsibility and an awareness of their impact on humanity. Technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. The Dalai Lama urged Zuckerberg and other tech leaders to focus on the well-being of people, to use their platforms to encourage kindness, empathy, and mutual respect. He reminded Zuckerberg that with great power comes great responsibility, and that responsibility isn't just about profit margins or market share, it's about the human lives touched by these technologies. Imagine for a moment that every tech company adopted the Dalai Lama's philosophy, that their primary goal was not just to connect people but to do so in a way that made them feel seen, heard, and valued. What would social media look like if it was designed to enhance our mental and emotional well-being rather than exploit our vulnerabilities for profit? This is the crux of the ethical challenge facing technology today. Can we build tools that serve not just our desire for connection, but our need for compassion and community? The pursuit of longevity in ethical reflections. Another intriguing aspect of the conversation was their discussion on longevity, sickness, and death, topics that might seem out of place in a conversation about technology but are, in fact, deeply relevant. Zuckerberg has often expressed an interest in medical technology and the potential to extend human life. He's invested in research that aims to cure diseases and perhaps even extend human longevity significantly. But the Dalai Lama raised a critical question: is this pursuit of immortality wise? What are the ethical implications of trying to overcome the natural limits of human life? The Dalai Lama's perspective is rooted in the understanding that life is impermanent. Suffering, aging, sickness, and death are all part of the human experience. Trying to escape these aspects of life may, in the end, lead to more suffering. He stressed that rather than focusing solely on extending life, we should focus on making the time we have more meaningful, filled with love, compassion, and joy. If our technological advancements lead us away from these core human experiences, what are we really gaining? Is the goal of living longer worth it if we forget how to live well? This isn't to say that medical advancements are bad, far from it. The Dalai Lama himself has often praised the progress of modern medicine. But he urges caution against becoming obsessed with longevity for its own sake. It's a reminder that, even as we pursue ways to overcome the limitations of the human body, we must also cultivate wisdom, to understand what it means to live a good life, a meaningful life, a compassionate life. It's a call to balance the pursuit of technological progress with a deep respect for the natural rhythms of existence, the human experience in a digital world. As the conversation continued, Zuckerberg and the Dalai Lama touched upon the broader implications of technology on the human experience. It's clear that the digital revolution has transformed nearly every aspect of our lives: how we work, how we interact, how we learn, and even how we entertain ourselves. But what does this mean for the human spirit? Are we better off for all this connectivity, or have we lost something essential in the process? The Dalai Lama's view is that technology should enhance our humanity, not replace it. It's easy to get lost in the endless stream of information, to become disconnected from the physical world and from the people around us. The digital world can be a place of incredible beauty and creativity. But it can also be isolating, even dehumanizing if we're not careful. The challenge, then, is to use technology in a way that enriches our lives, that brings us closer to each other and to ourselves. Have you ever felt that sense of disconnection, where you're surrounded by people but still feel alone, glued to your phone while the real world passes you by? It's a common experience, and it's something that both Zuckerberg and the Dalai Lama acknowledged. The Dalai Lama urged us to be mindful of how we use technology, to ensure that it serves us, rather than making us servants to the constant demands of notifications, updates, and digital distractions. Imagine, instead, a balanced approach, one where we use technology to learn, to connect, and to grow, but where we also know when to put it down, to be fully present in the moment, to engage with the people around us. This isn't about rejecting technology but about using it wisely. It's about recognizing that, as amazing as our digital tools are, they are just that, tools. They are not a substitute for the real connections we make face-to-face, for the moments of silence and reflection, for the deep, meaningful experiences that make life worth living. A shared vision for a compassionate world. At the heart of the conversation was a shared vision for a more peaceful, connected, and compassionate world. The Dalai Lama has long spoken about the idea of oneness among humanity, the belief that all human beings are interconnected, that our well-being is bound up with the well-being of others. In the 21st century, technology offers us a unique opportunity to realize this vision in ways that were never before possible. But it's up to us to use it in the right way. Zuckerberg's vision for Facebook and other technologies aligned with this idea. He spoke about how social media could serve as a platform for building bridges between people who might otherwise never have the opportunity to connect. Imagine a young person in a small town, who may feel isolated or misunderstood, finding a community online where they are accepted, where they belong. Imagine people from different countries, different cultures, different belief systems coming together to share their stories, to understand each other, and to find common ground. This is the potential that technology holds, the potential to create a global community where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. But as the Dalai Lama reminded us, this vision can only be realized if we are guided by compassion. Connection without compassion can lead to division, misunderstanding, and even hatred. True connection, the kind that leads to peace and understanding, requires us to look beyond ourselves, to care about the experiences of others, to be willing to listen and to learn. It requires us to remember that, at the end of the day, we are all human beings, sharing this planet and this life together. The ethical use of technology for a better future. As Zuckerberg and the Dalai Lama discussed the future, it became clear that the real question isn't whether technology will continue to evolve. It undoubtedly will. The question is how we will choose to use it. Will we use it to create a world that is more divided or one that is more united? Will we allow our technologies to exploit our worst instincts, or will we use them to cultivate our best? This is where the ethical responsibility of tech companies comes in. Zuckerberg acknowledged that tech leaders have a duty to think deeply about the impact of their creations, to anticipate the unintended consequences, to address the challenges, and to use their platforms for good. He spoke about the initiatives Facebook had undertaken to promote positive social values, to connect people not just for the sake of communication, but for the purpose of building a better, more compassionate world. The Dalai Lama's challenge to Zuckerberg was simple: use your power for good. Use your platform to spread compassion, to encourage understanding, to help people see beyond the surface and into the heart of each other's experiences. It's a challenge that applies not just to Zuckerberg or to tech companies, but to all of us. We all have a role to play in creating a more compassionate world, whether it's through the technologies we create, the ways we use them, or the ways we interact with each other every day. Conclusion: a dialogue for the future. The meeting between Mark Zuckerberg and the Dalai Lama in 2015 was more than just a conversation. It was a powerful reminder of what's possible when we bring together different perspectives in the spirit of mutual understanding and a shared commitment to the greater good. It was a call to action, to use the tools we have at our disposal not just to connect, but to uplift, to heal, and to unite. It was a reminder that, as we continue to innovate and create, we must always keep in mind the impact of our actions on the human spirit. As we look to the future, the ideas discussed in that conversation remain highly relevant. Technology will continue to shape our world in profound ways, but it's up to us to decide how it will shape our world. Will we use it to create more division, more isolation, more fear? Or will we use it to create more connection, more compassion, more understanding? The dialogue between Zuckerberg and the Dalai Lama serves as a powerful reminder that technological progress should always be guided by compassion, empathy, and a commitment to improving the human condition. It's a reminder that, as we continue to develop new technologies, we must never lose sight of the most important question of all: how can we use this to make life better for everyone? Their discussion represented a vision for the future where technology is not only used to advance material progress but also to foster deeper human connections, alleviate suffering, and promote peace across the globe. It's a vision that we can all contribute to, whether we are tech innovators, users, or simply human beings striving to live with compassion and understanding. So let's take this vision to heart. Let's use the incredible tools we have not just to innovate, but to uplift, to make the world a better place for everyone. Let's remember that technology, in all its power and potential, is ultimately a reflection of us, of our values, our intentions, our humanity. Let's choose to make it a reflection of the best in us. Let's choose to build a future where technology serves not just our desire to connect, but our deepest need to care, to understand, and to love one another.